Sir, my name is Leonardo Bintulan from BE Smart Eatery Delta with my group mates Axel Dimiterio, Brian Tero, and Daniel Matol. First, what is a crankshaft deflection? So it is an indicator measure if there is any deflection in the engine crankshaft. So deflections are measured by detecting the misalignment of main bearing. Both horizontal and vertical misalignment are checked. In the past, a dial gauge was used for this process. So crankshaft deflection readings are an excellent method of determining engine to drive alignment and main bearing wear. They should be taken in accordance with any plant maintenance system when an engine survey is conducted. It is very important to increase the performance of our engine while also reducing the vibration that may come with stress metal and unbalanced engine.
So, what are the emergency situations should we apply crankshaft deflection? So, crankshaft deflection is the misalignment of our main bearing. So, first is damaged bearing. So, damaged bearings can cause misalignment and also that's what the reason we should apply crank deflection. Next is increase of bearing temperature. So, due to heat, it might expand the metals. Heat can expand the metals of our bearings or our crankshaft. So that's why we have to apply crankshaft deflection. Next is loose foundation leading to vibration. Also, if there is a vibration, it might affect the crankshaft and our bearings. Next is shop hull deformation due to increased load of cargo, and ship hull deformation due to high discrepancy between sea temperature and air temperature. And next is crank in the bearing saddle and bearing wear due to usage over time. So as we use uh, as we use the bearing or our crankshaft over the time, it might affect the performance of our bearing because we use it. The next is strong vibration temperature. So the strong vibration temperature can cause engine fire, expansion of our bearing, and many more.
So I am Brian Altero of Bismarck Red Delta, and I'm going to continue to answer the questions in the activity, which is entitled of crankshaft deflection. So I'm going to answer the question number 4 and 6. So question number 4. So where it is done. So it is done in the 4 points of the crank, which is the top, bottom, and two sides. Then the measurements done by a dial indicator placed at a predefined locations between the crank webs. So the crankshaft is rotated in one directions and readings are taken at defined angular uh, locations.
The steps of how to conduct a shaft deflection reading on board are: ships must be on port and a calm weather to ensure an accurate reading. Next, conducting a shaft deflection reading must have a one officer on board to verify the readings. Next, wear PPE and gather the tools needed like spanner and wrenches, dial indicator, and a pilot mirror in case of a small compartment that is difficult to read. Prepare the manufacturer's manual and guide how to perform a shaft deflection on board and the parameters that ideal as the manufacturer's manual dictates. Prepare the necessary precautions like lockout and tagout on the starting mechanism of the engine. Engage the turning gear and set the turning gear into manual. Next, open the crankcase cover, open indicator cock, and rotate the flywheel so that the piston is at BDC position. Insert the dial indicator and set into 0, and then rotate the flywheel and take readings every 90 degrees until the flywheel rotates at full rotations. Record your readings and compare it to the manufacturer's manual parameters. If the difference is positive, that means the crankshaft is at sagging, and then if the difference is negative, that means that the crankshaft is on hugging. Remove the dial indicator, close the crankcase cover, then close the indicator cap, and disengage the turning gear. And then remove the lock and tag to the starting compartment, and that is the end of the crankshaft deflection readings.
Then question number 6, why we do it? So it is really important to take or perform crankshaft deflection so that we can determine engine to drive alignment and main bearing wear, and also ensure the proper alignment of the main bearings to prevent or avoid crankshaft failure or damage. So that's all, sir.